Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the pitch. So I did tell you yesterday when making my first videos on this channel that I weren't going to make a video every day. But today has been an exciting and interesting day from a United fan perspective. Ten Hag has been presented as the new Manchester United manager. He had his press conference with the entire media there, and I would just like to talk a little bit about how he did at that press conference, because I feel he came through quite all right, I would say. A little bit reserved, a little bit like he kind of shows off that he is the boss for sure, and I think that is a good thing, right? You had previously you had Ole Gunnar Solskjær, which was a little bit more everything is fine. He had a smile on his face, like the entire press conference, every press conference. Then you had Ralph Ragnick, which was very, very honest, you could say. Like he just tells the truth and nothing but the truth, and so he'll help him God. And Ten Hag was a little bit more, let's say he was a little bit reserved, but then again very like blunt, straight to the point, no bullshitting. I kind of like that. I like my manager to have a little bit of distance to the press, but at the same time being very firm and clear in what he means and his opinions. So he started the press conference, entering the room, shaking hands with all the journalists there, just had a good handshake, letting them know who he is, which obviously they didn't know before. And they got to tell him who they are, and that's probably nice for him to know. He opened the press conference saying that he has been greeted in a very nice way at the club. It's been a warm welcome, and he's looking forward to this new season. He feels quite all right and feels at home. I guess maybe he's obligated to say something along those lines, but later in the press conference, he did reveal that he has actually been a United or Manchester United fan since his earlier kid's age, or whatever you can call it. Since his childhood, that is what I mean. Come on. It's not easy when English is not your first language all the time. But I'm trying, guys. So, he did get asked the question if he's been preparing for the job because he's been in England for a week or so. He's been at the Crystal Palace match, and obviously he's been there, analyzed a few things, I guess. And that's what he actually said. He made a point out of that. He's a very firm believer in making his own analysis. He can ask people their opinions. Of course, everybody needs to do that sometimes, but he is very firm on that he wants to make his own analysis and also make his own conclusions. So, I think he took quite a few things out of that Crystal Palace game. Hopefully he did, regarding the players. But he wanted to keep for himself what he thought about that game. So let's see what gets out of that. I think it's an interesting answer. And also he was asked then again if he's confident of a turnaround with Manchester United. And why shouldn't he be? He's here to win something, I guess. That's why he was hired. That's why he accepted the challenge. So I think it's a given. But anyway, he did say that the confidence is there, and that he has a good feeling with the people around the club. He has had good meetings. There's just a general good feeling that he wants to cooperate, and they have to be consistent with their plan going forward. And then if they do those things, they will achieve success. Okay. I'm crossing my fingers. I'm counting on you, Erik. I'm confident that you will have success. And that will be nice to watch for. So, also next question for him was, what is your plan? And for me, that is a little bit of a strange question, because I think he has to have lots of plans, right? There's not just one master plan. There can't be just one. There's or maybe there is one master plan, but there has to be so many levels of that plan because there's so many things to do. And he's kind of embedded that into his answer. He said, our plan is huge, and as it should be. And there is a short amount of time to implement, but he didn't want to elaborate too much on it. And of course, that the first thing first order of business is to get the staff ready, to get the players ins and out, get the squad set, and then he didn't actually mention anything more to his plan, but that's anyways a huge step of the plan, right? And then the journalists went over to say, Ralf Rangnick has been speaking with you this week, and do you agree with Ralf that you will need about 10 players as reinforcements? Well, he didn't. I don't know what to take out of that answer, because he just said he's still in the progress of or a process to analyze and to get to his own conclusions. I'm pretty sure that he should have, and also probably already did, conclude a lots of things, but he won't share that with the press. And maybe that's the correct thing to answer. Maybe he shouldn't be, as honest as Ralf has been. But he's looking forward to improve the squad. He said that there is huge potential, and that he thinks there will be improvements. And I think we can get more out of what has been the result this season. Was the end of his answer. And then moving on for the next question, what have you assessed as the first steps you need to take, being the Manchester United manager? And again, he's going back to that they are putting the staff together, constructing the squad, and also building on his huge plan. And pre-season plan is of course the first thing after the staff and the squad of players. And that was his short answer. He was quite short in his answers, and a little bit, like I said, blunt, and clearly giving the impression that, like, I'm the boss. Yeah, he is the boss for sure. So there's a lot of reconstructing, and there has to be much change. Are you excited about the challenge of having a blank canvas? That was the next question for him. And which he replies, that is on the club. They have to set conditions, and I have to work with my squad to achieve success. That is what I'm looking forward to. And we have a strategy, so we have a concept, and we will work on that. So it's a little bit of a politician answer. There's no right or wrongs here, but sometimes there's two stupid questions. I think the journalist asks the same question almost in a different way sometimes. But for me, that I didn't take so much out of that answer. That wasn't the better question in any regard. Then another journalist said there is a lot to be done in terms of performance, but have you thought about changing the atmosphere? And that is a little bit more interesting again, because he answered. I will read it out to you. In every club, we think about what is in the club, what is the spirit of the club, and that is what we want to know. It's kind of cryptic in some way. That's kind of a Jose Mourinho kind of answer, I don't know. But also, and that is why they appoint me as the manager, I have to bring something to the club, a dynamic. If you want to achieve the top, you have to demand, and that is what we are willing to do. That is the last part of his answer, and that is a little bit more clear again, that, again, he is the boss. He will put demands on the players and probably on his staff. He might even go broader than that and maybe put a little bit of a demand on the entire club. Maybe that will be good as well. But he is for sure willing to go the extra mile. He seems to, he's cut his own vacation short to just get starting at the Manchester United job. And he seems very determined as a manager. It's been 9 years since United last won the Premier League. Oh God, don't we know that? Realistically, how long will it take to be challenging again, was the next question. I don't think about that at this moment. It was the opening answer. What we are thinking about is that it's a project, and that is what we've been hearing kind of a lot lately. For sure under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that it is a project, it will take time, blah 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 blah, which I know always takes time. Yeah, exactly, blah blah blah. But I know that in this club, and I have experience with other clubs like Ajax and Bayern Munich, we want to win. We want to win every game, and so we go from game to game, and we will see. So I just hope that this will not be as previously, like the last couple of years, where we go to lose ridiculous matches, where we're not expected to lose, and it will be we go again kind of answers from the players and stuff. I don't want any more of that we go again. Maybe I'm a little bit too critical of Erik ten Hag here. I don't want to be, but I kind of just want him to go full guns blazing. We're gonna challenge for something. I want him to know, say that for sure we want to challenge the top four. We want to get into the top four. We need to have Champions League football. And if we could win the Europa League, for example, that would be a good goal for the season to come. I would want a little bit more like that, but the way he answers that we want to win every game, of course, that's a good mentality. But the game-to-game basis, well, I would want a little bit more than just that. Of course, it's a complete rebuild, and we will see. On to the next question. Did you think about coming here when you were offered the job? Is it a risk that you could be putting your reputation on the line? Because he has a good reputation from Bayern Munich and also from Ajax, of course. To which he replied, I don't see it as a risk. this is a club that has a great history, and now let's make it a future. So that's a good way to answer it. And he goes on to say, it is really exciting to do that with the people around who are in the club, and we are also bringing people in with the staff. We will analyze the squad, and we will go on to day, work hard, 100% committed, and then I am sure we will get success. So he keeps repeating, game to game, day to day, and if you work hard and you are determined, you will achieve success at the end. That seems like a good recipe, right? As long as he is staying with that firm line, and he demands things constantly, and picking the players that actually what is that word again? I'm sorry, guys. If he actually picks the players that is like the best in training, that has been the best during the week of training, that he I'm so lost. That word it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't get it. But you know what I mean, right? The players that has done the most effort, that deserves. There it is. The players that deserve to start. That he actually picks them. Because that has not been the case the last couple of years. There's been so many favorites along the line. And for sure, if I will mention one, like Harry Maguire, he should have been dropped earlier. You can also make the case for McTominay, for Fred. Those two just don't work together. It's one player, isn't it? Every kind of fan channel are going on and on about the same thing. It's just one player, and they've been called McFred, right? You all know it. You all heard it. But put demands and let the players that actually deserves to start, let them start. Don't have favorites. Don't care about their wage. Don't care about their value or their stature. Keep the players in the first 11 that deserves to be there. I hope that is what he's saying in that answer. So, moving on. How much are you looking forward to the Premier League? Which he says, it's fantastic. Just like Ole, it's fantastic. But I already met big coaches. Like I feel that he's talking about opponents. He's been playing in Champions League with Ajax. So he met big coaches, big teams from the Premier League. And he did mention in European competitions. So I know to deal with that. But it's clear that the Premier League is the biggest league in the world, I think. And I'm really looking forward to battling with them. And he probably refers to Pep Guardiola. He probably refers to Klopp. And I would imagine Tuchel. And also Antonio Conte. Those are probably the ones he had in mind. And I hope it was in his mind, because I would want him to sideline himself with those kinds of managers, and I hope you will get onto that kind of stature. Okay, so have you spoken to the people about what it's like to be at this club? And which he just replied very shortly, of course I have spoken with the people to get an idea. That was the entire answer. Next one. Is it going to be a case of evolution or revolution at the club? That is an interesting one, because I think we will be wanting as fans a little bit of both. And he did reply, I think we have to work and we have to set clear purposes, clear strategy, and then you need people who have the capabilities. capabilities, and have the right attitude. I can nod, and I agree. A positive attitude, he added. 100% committed and work hard, and then we will achieve success. Again, this is the third time he's going in on the topic of or underlining his point, how to achieve success in his answers. And it also goes back to determination, commitment, positive attitude. You need to work hard, and then you will be on his good side, I think. And that is music to my ears. Can you hear it? I can hear it. I like it. So, a really like straightforward question now. How will your team play? Okay. So I kind of like his answer on this one. It was a little bit with a glimpse in his eye, and he said maybe you have seen Ajax. Yeah, I think most of us have. For sure, we probably have YouTubed a few matches now and lately. So maybe you've seen Ajax, he asked the journalist, and I like that, he says. But it is always players who dictate the way of play. Don't we know it as Manchester United supporters? It's been a pain the last few years. So the players dictate the way of play, of course, even though he has his instructions. That's logical. I have the ideal. I will line up my best team, and I will line up my players like that to go to get the best out of them. Like, he will do the lineup to get the best out of his squad. That's a good way of thinking, of course, as a manager. And he wants them to go out and to get to their maximum. I guess speaking about their maximum level, that they feel comfortable in their roles, and in the end, it's about getting success together. So again, he's going back to the success point. Well, he can keep mentioning it, because that's a good thing that you can't mention enough, because it's been a little bit forgotten and at Manchester United since Sir Alex went into retirement. So, next question again. Our interim manager for the past 6 months has been very vocal about changes that need to be made. Do you plan to sit down with Ralf Rangnick? Again, that brings a smile to my face, because I just like the press conferences from Ralf. But then again, he's a little bit like, I will not let anybody like influence me in a big way. So he answers, I think it's part of my analysis. I analyze myself, I observe, and I will speak with a lot of the people. But finally, I will draw my own line. Fair enough. You are the manager, you are the boss man. We will have patience with you, Erik, and I think you will do good. And there are plans for Ralph's consultancy. Do you advocate his role? And on this point, I'm not sure what he really wants. Do you want Ralph to stay, or do he wants to kind of don't want to have him as a consultant? I don't know, because his answer was just, that is on the club. Period. Nothing more. And I don't know how to interpret it, to be honest. Well, moving on. Did you speak to Louis van Gaal or Daley Blind about the club? And he did say, I spoke with more people who have experience with this club. Experts, but finally I will draw my own line. So again, he will not be influenced. He will take people's advices. He will listen to people around him. But he, again, make sure he is the decision maker here. But that kind of, for me, that gives him a strong personality. That gives him like he's just like the boss with capital letters, and I like it. That's the kind of manager I think we will need. And then he goes, the next journalist asks, did you speak to Van Gaal, our previous manager, right? Well, they did ask it in the question right before this one, but he didn't really answer it very clearly. So now he goes to say, yes, I spoke with Louis van Gaal. So, you know, I think Van Gaal gave his opinions. He did Van Gaal earlier, before Ten Hag got to England. Van Gaal was out in the media saying that Ten Hag should go to a football club, not a commercial club. Meaning, I guess we are run like a bank or a business rather than a professional football club. Van Gaal has a point there, of course. I agree with Van Gaal. Yeah, I kind of agree with Van Gaal. I think most of us do. But then again, maybe it will change. Richard Arnold as the new CEO seems like he doesn't want to have too much with the sports part of the club, and he leaves that responsibility to others like John Murtaugh and hopefully Ralph Ragnick and now Ten Hag. I hope it will be like that in the future, and Richard Arnold will not be so hands-on as Ed Woodward was rumored to be, at least. And there is a belief that no one will win a title while we are in this Klopp-Guardiola cycle of dominance. Do you agree with that? In this moment, I admire them, he says. I admire them both. They play in this moment really fantastic football, both Liverpool and Manchester City. But you will always see that an era can come to an end. I am looking forward to battling with them, and I am sure all the other clubs in the Premier League will want to do that. Yeah, it's gloves off. Bring it on. I don't think we will be challenging either Liverpool or Manchester City the next year or the next season, but I think if you draw like a 3 or 4 year plan, I think and hope we will be challenging again. And next question will that be, can the era come to an end before they decide to leave Premier League? Like Klopp and Guardiola. Can he challenge before those two managers leave the Premier League by their own will? And his short, firm answer was just, I think yes. Good answer. Just do it. Just do it. Next one is, you spoke about our history earlier. Do you do a lot of research into the club, and is that a reason why you came? Which he replies, no, the reason is, although it's a fantastic history, the reason is that there is a high potential for the future. That is why I am here. And I'm very happy to have that kind of answer, because there is a huge potential in Manchester United for sure. It's like we are the AC Milan. We're basically just a sleeping giant, really. We will rise. We are men. Like I would say, okay, this is a fan channel for every fan, every club. But this is the Erik Ten Hag press conference, and I'm a United fan, so I will just say, I will include myself in we. We will rise again. I'm pretty sure, even though Manchester City and Liverpool are very dominant at the moment, they will not go away anytime soon. And City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Tottenham also now with Conte. You also have West Ham has been doing very good the last couple of years. Aston Villa has good funding and to watch. Newcastle, of course, which has the new owners, which is, this endless, the endless bag of gold or something. There will be lots of competition on the top 4 race for sure, and also probably the Europa League spots next year, or the years to come. Okay, next question, not to derail from the press conference. He was asked, will you speak with the players this week? And he answers just, no, I don't speak with the players now. They need a break. They need to have their break, reflect, do their thing. I won't bother with them right now. But I'm looking forward to get starting. He wants to wait until the end of June for some of the players, and the majority of the players he will want to talk to in the first week of July. I don't know how to interpret that as well, because I guess he will then, in my opinion, make decisions on who stays and who goes without even talking to the players, because we need to get their business done, right? It's not such a long break before, if you imagine the last part of June, beginning of July, and you will have a pre-season tour, I guess, which we will play Liverpool amongst others. If you will then start to move on players in the beginning of July, you're very short on time. Very short on time. I think things will happen now, even though he hasn't spoken to the players, which is interesting, because that makes him, in my perspective, like a very firm manager, a firm boss, which says, okay, your opinions don't really matter. I will get my intel or my information from Ralph, from John Murtha. I will, from my own analysis, what I need, what I like. I will just decide, and you don't get a say in it, which is very good, because I think there's been so much player power within the club for the last couple of years that, I like that he's just deciding, and don't want to feed into their. Can you actually say toxicity? Yeah, I think so. Next question was what support do you need from the club? And which he replies, we had good meetings already, good talks, and I think we are on the same page. Hopefully they are, because he just started the job. Would be bad to not be on the same page so early, right? That is a good platform to start, and I am sure I have confidence in the project, that we have the good people around, the right strategy, and from that point about a good platform, and now we have to start work. So again, it's the get down, get gritty kind of mentality, work, determined. There will be blood, sweat, and tears here. I wonder, can you leave a comment? Please give me a comment or 2 or 3. Somebody. It's not dangerous. You can. I see. I will do it right. There's a subscribe button, please. Very grateful if you do that. Hit the like, and if you will comment on what kind of players do you think will cry, if there will be blood, sweat, and tears. Who will be putting out blood? Like the war machines at training. Like I will break your leg just because I want the intensity up. And who will just sweat and do whatever it takes to impress Ten Hag, and who will actually cry? Because maybe there might be a few sensitive souls in that dressing room. So somebody might cry. I don't know. I will leave it up to you. and hopefully I will read those comments, and we can talk about that on the next show maybe. He was then asked, are there similarities between this job and the tasks you have had when you first joined Ajax? He replied, yes, there are similarities. I will get my tongue right. A moment. Yes, there are similarities in both clubs. They both wear red. Well, duh. I think both clubs are used to having a success, and I think that is the biggest similarity. Yeah. Well, Erik ten Hag's English is a little bit, but he came off pretty okay, I would say. But of course, a winning mentality or wanting or used to having success, that is what he feels is a similarity between the clubs, Ajax and Manchester United. Under Sir Alex Ferguson's era at Manchester United, for sure, there were no greater winning mentality than what we had in that period of time under him. But the last couple of years, I'm a little bit skeptical. I think it's, as long as the United pay my wages, as long as I can do as much Twitter as I want to, and other hobby projects, I don't, really give so much attention to what I need to do on the pitch. But hopefully Ten Hag can bring that back to Manchester United. Reignite that spark. I hope so. Next question, and we're getting somewhat to the end here. There was a lot of questions, and they covered so many things. I think he was asked pretty much every kind of thing he could be asked. But the next one was could you give an example of what Steve McLaren and Mitchell van der Gag, not gag. That's not nice to say. Scratch that. Mitchell van der Gag, I will just call him that. Could you bring an example of what they will bring as assistants to you? And he replied, they both know how to get success because they both won titles. They both won trophies in their careers, and that's why they are here. So he has surrounded himself with what he then thinks is successful assistant managers. That is fair enough. Steve McLaren has been around for sure. He knows Mitchell from Ajax and maybe even earlier than that, and he knows what he stands for, his principles and his working methods. And I do applaud that he wants to surround him with somebody he can truly trust. Next question was, is recruitment going to be key? Like, recruiting maybe young talent and such things. He said, yes, it's right. Recruitment is important part. End of that. Next question, does Ronaldo fit into your project? Of course, he said. That was it. And what do you feel Ronaldo... Again with the tongue. Damn it. Not swearing either. What do you feel Ronaldo can bring next season? One word, goals. And he's right? Give Ronaldo the chances, he will bag them. He will bag them. Problem Ronaldo has had this season, there is no service in the team. There's no I muted myself. There is no service in the team. And either way, he scored so many goals, like by some sort of miracle sometimes. I don't know. Are you looking for more leadership from him as well to lead the project? Ronaldo, we're talking about him. And he said, I will first talk with Ronaldo before I talk with you guys at the press. Clever answer. And also the right answer. He can't just speculate and throw things up in the air. And then he was asked, what are your first impressions of Manchester? like the city, the area. And he said, I have been in Manchester before, but this is the first time I've been at Old Trafford, and he is impressed by Old Trafford. I don't know if us, the fans, are so impressed with the leaking roofs and everything, but there is an atmosphere there for sure. There is. It feels like my home already, and I cannot wait until the first match and the stands are full. It will be an exciting experience. I agree with him on that. Are you looking forward to the crowds and the atmosphere? I was on to the atmosphere. I've seen a lot of in the past with big teams of Man United. Like, he's been following Man United since his childhood. He's been seeing great teams before playing, watching the TV, I guess. They have a lot of generations that had good success. There was fantastic ambience always at Old Trafford, and I'm really looking forward to getting that experience. Like, he hungers for the atmosphere that we can bring as fans, and let's give him that, and hopefully he will give us something more back in return. And then the question, and it was your favorite club as a boy, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Seriously, for England, in every country, I have a favorite club in England, and it was Manchester United. That was his answer. Good. We have a manager that is a fan of the club, and that is nice. We also had Ollie, that had kind of the same thoughts, but I am hoping for a different outcome this time. Steve McLaren said you are good at analyzing matches. What conclusions have you drawn from Crystal Palace? So the press got onto that in the beginning of the press conference. You remember, right? They're trying to get him to slip up again now. So again, he was just going back to his previous point. I observed the match, I analyzed it, but it's still my thoughts. It's for me. I wasn't the judge. I take this information into the new season. Fair enough. But why do they continue to ask him the same questions? Next question, and is the final 3 in 3 questions now. I'm getting to the end. One ongoing discussion is who should be the United captain. Do you feel Harry Maguire should remain as a captain? And then he goes on to say, I have to repeat, next season is a different season. I think he did a great job. He is a great player. He achieved a lot already. A really good contribution to Manchester United. So I'm looking forward to working with him. That is about Harry Maguire. Not for me. Not for me. Of course, I will respect Erik ten Hag's decision about the captaincy. Personally, I will just give it to Ronaldo. Him or De Gea, the two people who has actually deserved something this season. I'm not on board with Harry Maguire as a captain, but then again, if he decides on Harry Maguire, I will respect it. I will try to get on board with it, and whatever he decides to do with Manchester United as a team, I will respect it, because I think Erik ten Hag knows what he's doing, and but I hope he's picking another captain, to be honest. There's been so much inconsistency with Harry Maguire, for sure the last year at least. And you might say, to be honest and fair with Harry Maguire as well, he might have been scapegoated a little bit, but he seems to be involved with a lots of the errors at the back all the time. Yeah, let's leave it with that. I'm a little bit surprised by the answer, but then again, he can't slate Maguire publicly, right? And he hasn't spoken with Harry Maguire yet, because he will speak to the players in June and July. So if there will be a decision on the captaincy, he has to speak with him first. I understand that. He can't tell the press first. Second last question. How do you react to Van Gaal's comments about Manchester United being a commercial club? We were a little bit onto that question earlier. Again, he says, I draw my own line, like his own conclusion, and I'm convinced that that is not the case. I spoke to the directors about the football. Every club these days is a commercial club. Every club needs it. They need the revenue. To be successful, you need to do what is necessary. But football is 1, 2, 3 in this club. It's like he means it's the first, second, and third priority is the football part. I wouldn't call Erik ten Hag a liar, but from earlier, like the previous regime with Ed Woodward, I don't feel that was the case. I think more like first, second, and third priority was more the business side of things. But we will see. We will see. There is a new era. There is a new CEO. There is a new everything. There's lots of changes. We will see. Last question. And finally, we get the Donny question. Finally. Donny, will you play? Are you looking forward to working with Donny van der Beek again, which is on loan at Everton right now? Of course, we had a fantastic squad in our time at Ajax. I have a really good relationship with Donny, and I'm looking forward to meeting him again on the pitch. That was his answer. Interpret as you wish. In my own idea or thoughts, I would say he will be in the first team squad for sure. I don't think he will be loaned out. I don't think he will be sold. I hope I will see him in the midfield for United, together with a strong second midfielder, a sort of defensive midfielder. I hope we get to buy one of quality. Maybe it will be Frankie de Jong. Fingers crossed, but you don't really know. So that was the entire press conference. What do I take away from that? In my opinion, like I said a little bit into like in the intro of this video, I think Erik ten Hag is a strong character. He's a demanding leader. He's very blunt sometimes in his answers. There is no bullshit going on. I hope that he will continue along that line. I hope he will just, I don't care what your name is. I don't care how much you cost the club. I don't care what your wages are. I will just want the work to be put in. I want the quality on the pitch, and we will win and we'll have success if we meet those criteria. Okay, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully we will continue to have another video or 2 or 3, who knows. I will try to get the time to do that. Again, hit the subscribe button and please leave some comments. That would be lovely, I would love to read some of those if you will be so kind, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you.